What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to hit a home run with your squash plants. I'm going to show you some simple ways to keeping them in your garden longer, keeping them healthier so they're in your garden longer and producing more. Let's go. All right, so the first tip to keeping your squash plants healthy and producing is by harvesting early and harvesting often. I know a lot of you have a tendency to look away from your garden for a couple days, and when you do, you end up with some baseball bat-sized zucchini. And so by harvesting early and harvesting often, it's going to continually send a signal to the plant to keep producing. So we've got here, from this one plant, we've got 2, we've got 3. That is a great eating size right there. That is a beautiful size. This is more of like a zucchini bread size, which I don't hate, but I don't like to let them get that big. We got 4, and then we also have a couple more itty bitty ones down here that this is like as small as I'll get them, but I still will sometimes get them even that small if I'm gonna be cooking them up for dinner. Super sweet and tender that way. But there's also about 3 or 4 more still on this plant. And by harvesting early and harvesting often, it's going to constantly send a signal to the plant that it needs to reproduce more growth and reproduce more fruit because what it had is gone. And so that will constantly keep the plant growing. So that's the first tip, is harvesting early, harvesting often. The second way to keeping your plants healthy and producing is by regularly spraying them for things like powdery mildew. See, powdery mildew is seen by this white fuzzy mold that actually grows on the leaf surface of your squash plants. Lots of other plants can get it, but squash plants are probably the most prone to getting it. It starts in the soil, believe it or not, and plants don't usually start to show signs of powdery mildew until later on in the season when it's cold and damp and the days aren't as long. And so we're basically into fall now, and that's usually when things like powdery mildew start to take hold. So what we'll do is we'll actually spray these plants down pretty much weekly with a baking soda solution. We use 1 tablespoon up to 2 tablespoons of baking soda into a gallon of water. We add a couple drops of dish soap. It's very simple. We shake it up and then we spray our plants down. And what that does is it actually creates a surface that is not inhabitable by the fungus and actually will kill that off. Now, the reason why these are kind of getting out of control is because we stopped spraying. These plants are basically done. They're not going to be doing much more growing, and we have a fall harvest of zucchini, which we'll talk about. But these are basically on the way out. So I've stopped spraying for these. But as we were spraying weekly, even if we didn't already see the mold, right? We didn't see any powdery mildew, we were still spraying on a weekly basis to keep the mold away. And so you can use this as a preventative or as a control. And so by doing that, that's going to extend the life of your squash plants by months probably. But hold on a second. What about the patterns on leaves? This is actually not powdery mildew. This is our golden zucchini, and golden zucchini have a unique leaf pattern. A lot of gardeners think that they have powdery mildew, and they actually over-apply things like their baking soda spray and end up killing their plant. You gotta know the varieties and the leaf patterns of those varieties, because this is not actually powdery mildew. Powdery mildew is far more blotchy and splotchy. This is a little more of like a camo pattern. This is because of the variety. This is the genetics, not powdery mildew. So you see this is a golden zucchini with powdery mildew. You can tell a very stark difference. The powdery mildew is far more dusty. It's also far more light gray in color. The actual leaf blotches are still evident. You can still see them. That's the genetics of the leaf. But then you can see here all these random blotches and little circles. Those are the colonies of powdery mildew. So the third way to keeping your plants super healthy and producing is, well, by planting new plants. Now this might seem like a kind of a cheat code, but it is. A lot of people think that they only can plant one season or one succession of squash or zucchini in their garden. Now, this can be applied to both summer squash and zucchini. So don't get it mixed up that I'm growing zucchini and that doesn't mean you can apply this, it doesn't mean you can't apply this to things like summer squash. You definitely can. They're both basically interchangeable. Now, when it comes to planting a fall harvest of zucchini or summer squash, you can do that by basically taking how many days it takes that plant to mature and to produce fruit and counting backwards from your first frost date. So our first frost is generally the 2nd or 3rd week in October, and we counted backwards, and it basically put us at right around the 1st week in August to plant these plants. And so we did. And from the first week in August, we are already not only getting tons of flowers, but also lots of fruit already. And we're already into basically September. And so these plants here have been growing, they're gonna continue to grow, but what you'll notice is not only are they more vigorous, not only are they less pest prone, right? There's way less pest pressure from things like squash bugs and squash vine borer and flea beetles and stuff. There's so much less pest pressure when the nights are cooler and the season is basically over. And also, these plants are reinvigorated. They're healthy, right? They're not starting in spring and growing through a really hot, humid summer. They're basically being grown in summer into cooler weather. And so they actually have kind of fresh legs, if you will. And so this is one of my secret weapons to keeping squash in my garden longer. Now, you do have to compete with things like powdery mildew, but you'll notice also no powdery mildew. Not a single plant has powdery mildew. And why is that? So the reason why these plants don't have any powdery mildew is because they're not as stressed. You see, a stressed plant is a sick plant. It's no different than your immune system, believe it or not. If you're stressed and you're low on sleep, you're more likely to get sick. Same thing goes with the surface of the leaves of these plants or even the plants themselves. When you have a plant that is growing through heat and it's going through drought and it's growing through poor soil conditions or improper pH or not enough water, those are all stressors on the plant. And the more that plant is exposed to that stress, the weaker it is. And so come fall, when a plant has basically been battling all those environmental conditions for a super long time, it basically says, all right, well, I'm gonna wave my white flag of surrender. I'm done, I'm tapping out. Whereas these plants, because they were grown basically going right into the hottest, most humid part of summer, they were growing, they were healthy, and now they're not exposed to all that stress, so they're far more likely to be more resilient, which they are. And that means no powdery mildew. Now, they probably will still get it at some point, but we're spraying weekly for that powdery mildew, and you'll notice nothing, nada, and that's awesome. The next tip to keeping your plants super healthy is by planting lots of variety. I've always said biodiversity is the spice of life. Put that on a t-shirt. But when it comes to planting lots of varieties, the reason why you want to do that is because every growing season is going to be different, and certain plants are going to cope with those differences differently. And so, for instance, this golden zucchini here is way more disease resistant to things like powdery mildew. Now, where it falls short is in cooler weather. It doesn't produce nearly as much as the black beauty zucchini does in cooler weather. And so I typically find that by planting a variety of probably 2 or 3 different varieties of zucchinis or summer squashes, it can help you to actually kind of overcome some of that adversity that can come with different growing seasons, different growing conditions. I will find that my black beauty zucchinis will fruit earlier because they tolerate that cooler weather. And I will find that they're usually the first to get things like powdery mildew because they are more prone to powdery mildew than the golden zucchini does. So I find that by planting 2 or 3 different varieties, I not only can have a more prolonged season, but I'm getting zucchini at different times throughout the growing season. My black beauties are just finishing up, whereas my golden zucchinis have been going full speed since about mid-July, late July or so, and they're still in full production. All right, the next tip to keeping your plants healthier is through pruning. Now, a lot of you have asked about pruning and if you can prune your zucchinis and summer squash, and the answer is yes, you can. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, that is what we do to keeping our plants super disease-free. Because when you prune your plants, you actually are pruning out those older, more stressed, closer to the soil leaves. So for instance, this leaf right here that has powdery mildew on it, just pull it right off. Give it a snip, give it a prune. Now, a lot of people worry about things like bugs getting into the holes of the zucchini stems that are hollow. You don't have to worry about that. They close up once they dry. It only lasts a couple days and they shrivel up and close up. So don't worry about that at all. Now, if you are worried about it, you can prune just above the leaf. Take off the leaf, leave the stem, and it'll actually dry and scab over, leaving no hole at all. So multiple ways to prune your plants, but pruning them is a great way to removing things like powdery mildew, removing those older leaves that are more prone to powdery mildew, as well as opening up airflow so that the leaves dry out and are less likely to get things like powdery mildew. So there's a lot of benefits to doing that. And it also, if you're planting them in a close area like we are here in a high intensity fashion, it helps open up those flowers so that things like pollinators can find the flowers and you have good pollination. So lots of benefits to pruning, but we definitely prune our zucchinis. So this is where we're pruning, just above the flower. So you probably noticed how long this vine got. Zucchini and summer squash, for the most part, are a bush variety. There are some vining summer squash and some vining zucchinis, but this, in fact, this golden zucchini right here is not a vining zucchini. It just looks like a vine because it's been allowed to stay healthy and continue growing all season long. So what a lot of gardeners can do is implement what's called staking. Now, staking is basically the process of essentially putting them into a tomato cage or a post and basically standing them upright. This plant right here is all one giant zucchini plant. And if you stood it up, just like this, you could stand it up on a stake off the ground, and that further helps to keep the leaves off the ground, helps increase airflow, and helps get those flowers available to pollinators. Now, you can stake your zucchinis. Just know that those plants get really heavy and really big, so go with a nice, robust stake. That's kind of the other alternative to something like pruning. You can prune and stake, or you can just grow along the ground and prune. Mosquitoes are nuts right now. But if you prune, that's pretty good. Staking and pruning, that's great. So if you can do it, that's the ticket to keeping your plants super healthy, because they will last a lot longer off the ground. All right, and the final tip that I've got for you guys today is what I like to consider a late season fertilizing. You see, these fruits, that's what these are, fruits, take a ton of nutrients to produce. And the more fruits that the plant produces, and the more flowers and leaves and growth the plant produces, that all consumes nutrients from the soil. And so if you want to keep your plants healthier, sometimes what I find is a very reliable way to keeping my plants healthy and producing is come around early to mid-August, I will do a second fertilizing. It's not always necessary, and your plants will definitely tell you what is necessary and what's not. But if you find that your growth is slowing, but your plants are still very disease-free, and if you find that your fruits are getting smaller and not as productive, sometimes that second fertilizing is exactly what that plant will need to continue producing and continue growing. So consider that. We will just kind of follow up if it's needed with another fertilizing of Trifecta Plus. We simply fertilize the base of the plant, water it in well, and then we're good to go. So that's the final tip to keeping your plants super healthy and producing. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend, especially if you're sitting around the lunch table and your friend's saying, my zucchinis just didn't do so well this year. Especially share this video with them. I'd appreciate it. So as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. Take care. Bye.